Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions, and in this video, I wanted to cover three specific things that I think are super important when it comes down to the overall idea of natural gas. These are three things that I personally follow. There's so many different factors that have a both positive and negative influence on certain commodities. One of the things that I've noticed is that news is going to come and go, right? But there's three specific type of news that I'm always looking out for. And I just wanted to create a super simple video talking about kind of like, we've been getting a very common question of like, what's next for Ugaz? What's next for natural gas? Ricky, I thought that during, the winter months, natural gas goes up. Like we've said multiple times before, patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. One of the things that we experienced over the weekend was this overall weather forecast report. And it was supposed to be warmer than expected, which is not an overall good idea for natural gas. So one of the first things, especially during this time of year, one of the things that I would look a little bit more into if you're trying to explore different avenues to look into detail is the overall, it sounds funny, but weather forecast when it comes down to how natural gas can get affected. And there's a bunch of different websites. I don't want to recommend any of them, but I want you to do your own due diligence and understand that the overall weather forecast does have both a positive and negative influence on natural gas. And I want to show you guys real examples. So this is my TD Ameritrade. I think of some platforms, and people always ask what platform I'm using. But you guys might be asking, well, Ricky, what do you mean by, weather can have a both positive and negative catalyst? One of the things that we've noticed happens so often is that, just over the weekend, right, on Sunday, we saw a huge drop. Natural gas was trading at $2.80 on Friday. And as soon as the market opened on Monday, it drops down to $2.70, and by the time the market opens during the normal trading session, it's down to about like $2.65, a huge drop. And what was one of the main reasons? It's due to the idea of, again, that simple weather forecast. Let's go ahead and track back 2 weeks when we saw natural gas push from $2.70 all the way up to $2.80. What happened there? Was it any crazy news? It literally was just weather forecast that it's supposed to be colder than expected. Again, this is a perfect example of why it's important. If and only if you trade these certain commodities that can get affected and influenced by weather forecast, then it's something that if you plan to swing trade it, which is not something that I would recommend, but if you're trading these commodities, not just on the technical aspect, but you want to stay up to date with different reasons on why something is bullish or bearish, I would write it down at least and look a little bit more into it. Weather forecast has so much to do with the overall performance of natural gas. The second thing, something that we should all be aware of, are inventory reports. Something that we experience on a weekly basis. For natural gas, it's every single Thursday. There is a weekly report that, 1 hour after the market opens. So the market opens here in Arizona at 7:30 a.m. So at 8:30 a.m., there's this report that comes out that has both a positive or negative catalyst on natural gas, which has a positive and negative catalyst for Ugaz. So one of the things that we have been experiencing is, although the overall consumption, right, of natural gas is expected to go up because weather was expected to be colder, now we're actually seeing a downfall. And one of the things that we actually experienced last week was we saw a little bit of a pullback on natural gas due to the inventory report. So today's Tuesday, as you guys can see, it's November 12th. In 2 days, we have an inventory report, just like we do on a weekly basis. And that inventory report will come out at 1 hour after the market opens, and you will have a better understanding, again, of, if we're above, if we have a surplus of inventory, that's not a positive notion for natural gas. But if we have, an overall shortage, right, then that can be something, right? Because by having a shortage, the overall demand can then, if it continues to increase, can be great, because the higher the demand, the smaller supply, we can begin to charge more for natural gas, which will then have a direct catalyst. Now, one of the things that we've been talking about a little bit more, you guys can see it all over the news. I usually don't pay too much attention to this, but if you're trading crude oil, if you're trading gold, if you're trading natural gas, and if you're trading anything that is influenced by the overall market, which is pretty much everything, this talk about trade war. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, even on the 1 day, 1 minute chart, when it comes down to forward/NQ, literally all over the place. Why? Just the continuous tweets and talks about this trade war behind China and the United States. All I'm saying is, as soon as this news began to come out, I just dropped the ball, and I was just like, I'm just over this. This inconsistency in pattern, in direction, it's less of focusing on technicals and more on focusing on people's opinion and how that influences the overall market. I did not do as hot as I wanted to today. We've been doing so well, for the past 2.5 weeks. A red day was bound to happen. I believe I had a 2.5 week green streak. Today I did take a loss, $326.10. Not bad. My daily goal is a $500 profit every day, and I've been doing that pretty consistently for the past 2.5 weeks. Unfortunately, I did take a small red day, but again, I'm here to show both my green and my red, and I just wanted to, empower you that for all those, and then the whole idea behind this video is I wanted to update you guys on my profits. I wanted to update you guys on 3 factors that I really like to pay attention to. And again, those 3 things are just my opinion. So that's overall weather forecast. It's overall the inventory, right? When it comes down to natural gas, and also the trade war. I've been seeing that it has had both a positive and negative influence on the overall market. And that is why simply I am talking about it. One of the last things that I want to talk about is this continuous question that we continue to get. And if you look at natural gas or Ugaz on the 180-day chart, right, we'll look at /NG. One of the things that people just continue to sell themselves on is that, hey, look, natural gas pulled back quite a bit. It's bound to pull back up. Again, nothing has to happen. And as long as we continue to get negative news about weather forecasts, as long as we continue to get negative news or a surplus in inventory, natural gas will continue to fall. I don't care if we're in the season of where natural gas tends to go up. If the news is pushing this commodity a certain way, it will follow. So all I'm saying is, as we are unclear about the direction where natural gas is heading right now, why would you enter a swing trade? It's something that I've emphasized so many times. If the direction is unclear and there's a very inconsistent pattern with inconsistent fundamentals, right? Why would you enter a position that's so hopeful? That's what I'm trying to ask you is, everyone continues to say, Ugaz to the moon, Dgas to the moon. It's anyone's game right now. Right now, we're at a point where, yes, natural gas can find a support and it can push up just as much as it could continue to get rejected by the EMA line and continue to sell off. So all I'm saying is I am taking my positions day by day, just like I have for the past 2 months, and hope that it plays out in their favor. Again, let your actions today be something that works towards your future goals. I really do appreciate your guys' time. Again, all the links are provided for you down below. I wanted to update you guys very quickly because I know a lot of you guys have been asking for updates on this house flip that I have. If you're part of the Learn Plan Profit Group, you would have heard me talk about it, I believe, yesterday and today. One of the things that we're doing is I'm flipping a house in Peoria, Arizona, and this was the granite top that I picked out. Granite on this flip was something that ended up being a lot more expensive than I anticipated. But again, we're trying to provide a really clean house. So we have like light gray walls, right? White crown molding, clean tiles. We're gonna have this type of granite all over the kitchen, and we're gonna have some like white backsplash. Just wanted to give you guys some insight, quick little update. I ended up paying about $1,070 for 2 slabs of granite, and it's gonna cost me about $1,800 to get a fabricator to fabricate the granite and then install it. So let me know what you guys think about that. You guys know that I'm always trying to keep you guys up to date. If you are part of the Flipping Wheels group, I do want to remind you that if you guys haven't messaged them already, you guys might have seen it on their Instagram, both Caleb and Weston. So I invested in a car dealership, and today they submitted their paperwork for their dealer's license. So for those that do have a dealer's license, you guys probably know that it's a huge process. It's about 30 to 45 days. So if you guys have even just 1 minute, go ahead and send them a direct message on Instagram. Again, that's both Caleb and Weston for their first huge step towards applying for their dealer's license. I really do appreciate your guys' time. I hope that I earned your thumbs up. Again, if you guys want to join our free Facebook group, that's going to be the first link down below. If you guys have any questions about what I talked about today and that it's already not covered on my YouTube channel, I'd love to answer it for you. Feel free to send me a text message at 480-261-6678. And again, that is that phone number provided for you in the description. Thank you guys again for your time. For all those that are part of Learn Plan Profit, I will see you tomorrow, 30 minutes after the market opens, for the crude oil report. All right, guys, let's have some fun and make some money. Take it easy, team.